mentioned, today she has been pretty patient. She can be quite explosive in power play. South Africa found out in the T20 World Cup as well. Four runs off that over. One scoring shot. It's 28 for 1.
A phone with a great camera, or one with a great camera that can also coach you to take better pictures.
One sec, trying something new.
With Camera Coach on Pixel 10, let your phone's AI guide you to take that iconic shot.
Nice.
We're up to now 39 dot balls in the innings from New Zealand's point of view. Some of that will be based around, obviously, how well South Africa bowl, but also general plans to a Marizan Cup, for example. Generally, teams like to see her out, and then you work around that because she is the trump card for South Africa with the ball. Now, Nadine de Klerk herself can get the ball to swing. She's also someone who's got some nice variations, a couple of slow balls as well. Interested to see how she goes here with the keeper up to the stumps. Decent start. Erin Finch, I've got a very important question for you. And it is on behalf of all South Africans, and in particular the South African captain. How is it that you win a toss? What do you have to do to win a toss? You know all about that.
Yeah, it's a bit of luck, isn't it? It seems in big tournaments it generally favours a team, and when it goes against you, you start being really desperate when you get out there. Shot. First bit of width and punish through the offside.
This is the opportunity that very often comes the way of opposing teams when a Marizan Cup gets taken out of the attack, because she's so disciplined. So anyone following her, following obviously a really high standard, so it makes it tough. Got to get it right as a bowler.
Oh yeah! That's a better line. Good adjustment. Yeah, and often you'll see teams really reluctant to make a double change with the ball. What's a double change? Bowlers switching at both ends in consecutive overs. You feel as though as a batter that can just release the pressure. Maybe you'll get a loosener or two early in the over, so that gives you the opportunity to get on top and start to get on a roll and get some momentum back. Nice line, good adjustment. As soon as you get punished through the offside, it's a necessary adjustment. It's easier said than done, though. Often you'll see bowlers start to panic that they don't want to overcorrect, particularly with a stacked offside field. It's a good comeback. Not sure they're going to be all that effective.
It's the new style, maybe. South Africa's had their troubles with the toss this year. It's been a tough one for Laura Wolfart. She's been struggling to get it right out in the middle. And just wonder how much of a factor it'll be today. What will happen a bit later on? This pitch definitely looks a bit slower than the other one where we saw Australia and New Zealand, and low bounce as well. Will it possibly then come on a bit better with lights on?
Well, one thing to note that there was no dew the other day in the Australian game. A few field changes. Fine leg comes up inside the circle. Two fielders back on the offside. Has to be wide with the ball. Can't afford anything straight. It's discipline. End of the ninth. 32 for 1.
Here's a thought. Wouldn't it be amazing if your phone could tell you how to master the game?
Gemini, how can we improve my daughter's stance?
First, the bat should be held up and behind, ready to swing, and her feet should be shoulder width apart.
Now that's hitting it out of the park.
Two. This one is worth. Strong offside field again for Plymouth. Stacey and King, you've joined the commentary team. Welcome, first of all, and also you've picked up something on Miliko.
Hello, Natalie. Hello, everyone. Yeah, we were just having a look at her movement coming down the pitch and to play these paces. She's been able to pick up a few boundaries, Miliko. She's scored on the offside and the onside, and it's been excellent just how she's used her feet. Yeah, what is clear is that she's done this 9% coming down the track, scoring against Australia. This time today, 20% she has used, so much more this time around. So it's just something that we've picked up in terms of the movement, trying to negate the swing from the bowlers, and it's excellent so far from her. I think it's going to increase a bit more in this innings.
Thanks, Stace. To the surface itself, the opposition, what is it?
I think it's a combination of both. The line that the South Africans have bowled so far just means that they haven't given away too many free boundaries. Up to 47 dot balls already in this innings, not even through the 10 overs. So that tells me that they want to score in front of the wicket. The bowling's been nice and straight, so that doesn't give you the chance to run the ball down to third man, to the deep third, to get off strike.
Just got a boot on that at Masabata class. They play some football before the game. I think it should be right up there as one of the best.
Again, it's used to the feet down the track because the length has been disciplined. This is a great bit of work. That was 4 for all money. And she's very, very lucky. It hasn't hit her on the ankle. And that's forced a change from the South Africans. Keep her up to the stumps, which is a good move. New Zealand throw a problem at you. Georgia Plymouth says, I'm going to use my feet to negate your strengths at the moment. South Africa answering quickly.
Wasn't sure what to do with that one this time around, Plymouth. Now, keeper up to the stumps hasn't obviously made it easy for the keeper with that length. The class can also crank up the pace. In fact, in 2022, she had some good pace about her. And she was working very hard on that extra bit of pace as well. And also this sort of length. But there's really not much bounce there, is that, for that length? Should probably be getting up a bit more than that. Just gets it wrong for the last ball. It's waiting on the umpire, and in fact it's given as wide, so there'll be another one for class.
It's unfortunate, isn't it? Because the pressure that had been building up. Yeah, clearly not flicking anything on the way through. That's the disadvantage of the keeper coming up, but particularly on a surface where it is skidding through it on the lower side.
Frustrating for class in South Africa, with the runs coming in that over. It's 38 for 1. First 10 overs done then.
A phone with a great camera, or one with a great camera that can also coach you to take better pictures.
One sec. Trying something new.
With Camera Coach on Pixel 10, let your phone's AI guide you to take that iconic shot.
Nice.
Nadine de Klerk has ball in hand. She bowled the first over, which went for 4. And using very measured, a lot of dot balls though within that first 10. And that's also from the disciplined bowling from South Africa. Good as well from Nadine de Klerk. She is someone who can just pretty much put it on the same spot. South Africa would be happy with the discipline they showed through most of that first 10. They would have loved another wicket though. Again, visually showing you the lack of bounce. 40 for 1.
Here's a thought. Wouldn't it be amazing if your phone could tell you how to master the game?
Gemini, how can we improve my daughter's stance?
First, the bat should be held up and behind, ready to swing, and her feet should be shoulder width apart.
Now that's hitting it out of the park.
Rate 3.64. We've had 11 overs so far, Finchie, of watching this game, the surface. The outfield we know is quick. What's a good score on the surface, do you think?
Good question. I think anything above 250 will be a tough chase, particularly with the characteristics that we've seen of this wicket today. I think we'll get a better idea when spin's introduced into the attack. There is some bare patches. I think as this game goes on, spikes of the bowlers, the batters running between wickets, just chewing up a little bit of that surface. I've got a feeling that the spinners can play a really big part. Quicks have been outstanding, been stump to stump. I think that they can start to think about the introduction of spin.
It's pretty clear for South African. The first change bowlers also keep it stump to stump. Yeah, her captaincy is going to be important. Bowling changes, obviously field placings, all of that is going to be very important, especially in this phase, because South Africa of late have struggled in this middle phase where they've struggled to pick up wickets and they've been expensive as well. And that results in your last 10, another battle, and that's where they've also struggled too. So this is important. Laura Wolfart's captaining in her first ODI World Cup, but she's been the captain for a little while, and her own batting, she's really thrived as captain, but obviously from a tactics point of view, this is going to be important. She just quietly, by the way, through this period has earned herself a degree in better sciences as well while she's been on the road and captaining South Africa. She was accepted into medical school, but then eventually chose a career within cricket, but on the road, and she's got herself a degree. It's a good take in the end by Jafta.
Yeah, it's a great take. I saw one skid down the leg side, go for 5 wides before, but that's good footwork across the crease. And you talk about love of the game. Rozan Cup is certainly somebody who has inspired a lot of people, young girls, young boys. What a wonderful all-rounder she's been for South Africa for such a long time. Just another example of the ball not quite coming on. You talked about the struggles that the South Africans have faced through the middle overs with the ball, and then that compounds into the last 10 where you've got set batters that can go around the park. What you can do as captain is try and invent some ways to get wickets. I think you go the other way and you just totally simplify things, which is exactly what we've seen so far. All right, let's have catches in front of the wicket, stump to stump.
Needed a hit. That hits, she's gone.
And that's where you create opportunities through discipline. Hit and run, and then gave up. Just, it's always hard when you go to your knees. You always feel like you have to pick up and rush in one moment. could she have taken a fraction more time to line them up?
And the evidence playing a little bit early. 42 for 1 it is.
A phone with a great camera, or one with a great camera that can also coach you to take better pictures.
One sec. Trying something new.
With Camera Coach on Pixel 10, let your phone's AI guide you to take that iconic shot.
Nice.
Four bowlers used so far for South Africa, all seam. Haven't quite decided that it's time for spin yet. Right on the stumps is Nadine de Klerk. She's been pretty accurate so far and given away very little. It's always a special moment in a game. The start of the game, and you get things underway with former international cricketer in Ms. Rupanjali Shastri. Ringing the bell to start things off. Lovely moment. Just falling short of Marizan Cup. Very hard to create your own pace with on the ball at the moment.
In the last 8 balls, we've seen a run-out opportunity. Almost a chance here. Marizan Cup was in off the 25-yard circle too. But that's what discipline does. They're squeezing here, South Africa. You get 3 balls into the over with the field right up squeezing. Nadine de Klerk says, right, deep point back, provide some protection. Build pressure earlier in the over. Just push one more out. Good thinking, good captaincy.
You can see already that Georgia Clement she looks a little bit almost nervous in her response. Using her feet, yes, that's not a bad plan, but she just looks like she's a little unsettled at the moment. She needs to find that calm. So South Africa now, at this moment, have decided, well, maybe she's going to attack and try something. So they've now pushed square leg out as well. So for the first time, we've got 4 fielders outside the 25-yard circle. It's a good run.
One thing that you can get caught in your mindset as a batter on a ground like indoor, it's a lightning fast outfield. You just think boundaries. So what that does, it tends to mean that you hit a lot of balls to the field because you're only thinking one way. You have to have some different gears to go to.
Pressure has it told. Shanae Liss grabs it. The pressure telling on one of the big fishes for New Zealand. They find themselves 2 down now.
It's been brilliant bowling from South Africa. Nadine de Klerk, so disciplined, so accurate. And it's the off-spinner on this occasion. Amelia Kerr looking to chip it over the leg side. He's misjudged it originally. Started going back, but makes no mistake in the end. It's a good catch. It's an important wicket. Just couldn't quite get going. Amelia Kerr goes for 23. New Zealand 44 for 2.
Here's a thought. Wouldn't it be amazing if your phone could tell you how to master the game?
Gemini, how can we improve my daughter's stance?
First, the bat should be held up and behind, ready to swing, and her feet should be shoulder width apart.
Now that's hitting it out of the park.
Incredible innings she played against Australia the other day. 112. She started out slowly and then caught up beautifully. She just needed somebody to stick with her a little bit longer, and it may have been a different game. Wonderful career. Sensational. Oh, Sophie Devine. And this wicket came about because of passage of pressure from South Africa. It was good captaincies, bowling. Watch the release. Spoke about her variations that she has. Nadine de Klerk could enjoy bowling on the surface. Slight misjudgment, but good to stay calm, Sunodis.
Subtle changes. I think it was a late decision for Mealy Kerr to try and go over the onside. Like you said, Nat, misjudged slightly, but remains calm. You can see the excitement, the passion. Understand how important this game is to their World Cup campaign.
Now, the difference that the keeper up the stumps has made, because the batters were using their feet, in particular Mealy Kerr, and now keeping her in the crease, and the bowlers also responding with a disciplined line and length, has made a difference for South Africa. So that was a really good, almost reaction. You don't want to say they were being reactionary because they weren't. They made another plan. They said, all right, well, we're going to counter-attack you and bring our keeper up to the stumps. Right, fielder goes back now on the offside. Just wonder if they hit the stumps, might be a bit of a different story for New Zealand.
Again, you can just feel the frustration in Georgia Plymouth. Good shot to brilliant 100 against Australia. There's no worse way to go. There is no worse way to go in the game as a batter.
Yeah, definitely nothing divine about that, that's for sure. This innings was pretty special, wasn't it, Aaron? You were there to watch it. It was very special.
Yeah, it certainly was. 2 down without any runs on the board against Australia, chasing over 300. Her composure, her skill, her game off the front and back foot, pace and spin. She's almost a complete player. Wonderful innings. Gave New Zealand a chance for a long time.
Oh, it's very wide. Keeper can't stop it. That's gone completely wrong for class. That's not what she was trying to do. Extras column just racking up a little bit for South Africa.
Yeah, again, it's the last ball of the over. Jafta just completely misses it. She'd be disappointed with that. Both bowler and keeper. It's not the best delivery. Any kind of glove on that. You get out of the over. Continue to build pressure.
New Zealand bring up their 50 at the end of the 14th over.
मॉर्निंग सेशन में स्कैमर विकेट लेने को है पे आप दूसरी ओर कस्टमर कूल एंड काम
हेलो हेलो बेटा मैंने 10 लाख की एफडी डाली है जरा ओटीपी भेजना
और ये शानदार गूगली
ओटीपी चाहिए मां 1 1 0 0 0 0 लगाओ कॉल
लेकिन बल्लेबाज ने मारा बेहतरीन कैच
बी अलर्ट बी स्कैम सेफ
Second on the list of the high scores in this competition, Sophie Devine. She'd love to continue this wonderful start she's had to the competition. A situation where a team is in a little bit of a sticky situation. Pace only.
has worked for South Africa so far. Nadine de Klerk got the fire in her eyes. 300th international game for Sophie Devine. She knows how important it is for her to play a key hand today if New Zealand are to put up a competitive total. Georgia Canuck's done all the hard work. She's been there for 42, 43 deliveries now. She knows she's seen off the tough part, the first 10 overs. Can she give Sophie Devine the support she requires?
Hello, Castle, everyone. It's an interesting innings from her so far, 14 from 43, Lemma. Spending a lot of time. I just hope that the pressure doesn't build and you sort of waste all of that application and spending time. And she happens to get out, because what you don't want to do is use those 44 balls for just that 14 runs.
71st dot ball of the innings. And the pressure has told, led to the wickets of Amelie Kerr. Wonderful catch from Senelis.
And for South Africa, they'll be thinking, well, we've only used spinners, pacers so far.
Goes over the top and lands safely. Chloe Tryon runs in from the boundary, but it falls just short.
Yeah, maybe the dive needed to come in from Chloe Tryon. But it's a good effort, a good delivery, possibly a cutter, again luring a false shot. Yeah, tough.
कैच छूटता हुआ है यहाँ पर
Creating an opportunity, creating chances for wickets to be taken. How big will that have been? Sophie Devine is still or not?
Will be a real hunger from South Africa today. What a tough first outing against England. As Laura Wolford said, you've got to have a short memory about games like that, and they've turned it around nicely so far early on. Good over from Nadine de Klerk. It's 15 overs, gone 51 for 2. Time for a drink now in Indore.
Here's a thought. Wouldn't it be amazing if your phone could tell you how to master the game?
Gemini, how can we improve my daughter's stance?
First, the bat should be held up and behind, ready to swing, and her feet should be shoulder width apart.
Now that's hitting it out of the park.
We've got one hope. Secret laboratory. In the middle of nowhere, our nation's best scientists focused on one goal. End this war. Our boys would come home. I can perform this miracle. Robert, try not to blow up the world. Oppenheimer.
Yeah, we got problems. What? It's your brother, Keith. Something's not right about him.
That the guy?
Luther says that's the guy. That's my reason for helping you.
Why'd you come back here?
Freeze everybody out! Get back his head! We want to take out the competition. What do you think? I wasn't going to hear about this? What's my cut? This could be the greatest opportunity of my life, and it comes with danger. Is that a ghost? Well, I bet ain't nobody seen that coming.
live in indoor. South Africa 50, New Zealand 51-50 after 15 overs. Time for a magic moment.
Oh, this chance of a catch here should be taken. And out. Huge appeal for LBW and given, and that's it.
Sensational effort from Dane van Niekerk, 4 without conceding a run against West Indies 2017 in Leicester. The only time a bowler taken a pauper without conceding a run. West Indies all out for 48, South Africa winning by 10 wickets. Stacey Ann King is about to tell us.
The first thing that stands out is I was nowhere part of that team at the time. But tough for West Indies women in that match, but really good from South Africa. They'll hopefully want to emulate something similar in terms of picking up a win in this match.
Right, Marizanne Kapp now replacing Masabata Clark. Down left side. Just a single. You talk about Dane van Niekerk and that incredible effort. It was that spell that inspired my son, who's a leg spinner. He watched that and he said, that is incredible. And that's when he realized women play cricket. Isn't it amazing? So I love the fact that women's cricketers are inspiring young girls and young boys to take up the game.
ये गेंदा बिकता हुआ ये
I think this is excellent from the wicketkeeper standing up to Marizanne Kapp and Sophie Devine, because we've seen the New Zealand batters use their feet on numerous occasions to try and just let off the pressure. Those good deliveries.
It's really good doing Marizanne Kapp, and they know how important it is to ensure that Devine doesn't get going, doesn't put it on the pressure to South Africa. And with 52 for 2, this run rate is just 3.35. 6 boundaries in this New Zealand innings so far.
Yeah, those dot balls keep climbing. 75 of them now in this innings for New Zealand. It's been 44 balls since a boundary has been struck. So the pressure is building.
It's really important that South Africa switched on in the field. They hold on to their catches like Lees did. Keep the pressure on.
And especially in this phase, because they've really struggled in previous matches in this middle phase since the start of 2020 for South Africa. And again, that point that they've only used pacers so far and picked up those 2 wickets. You know, that's a really cool and Susie Bates.
Just 1 from the over so far. Can she close it out? Marizanne Kapp. Two from the over. New Zealand 53 for 2.
A phone with a great camera, or one with a great camera that can also coach you to take better pictures.
One sec. Trying something new.
With Camera Coach on Pixel 10, let your phone's AI guide you to take that iconic shot. Nice.
Good support here at Holcomb Stadium for these 2 teams. Let's could have bowled that again, Nadine de Klerk. Wonderful museum here at the Holker Stadium in Indoor. Great memories, great historic moments to celebrate. Wonderful achievements of this ground. It's better from de Klerk.
I like the change up of deliveries. And she did pick up the wicket of Miliku. You're just bowling the cutter, moving her fingers over, taking pace off. So you've got to put whatever pace behind it as the batter.
Wonderfully struck. Excellent shot from Sophie Devine. Just breaks the shackles.
And a boundary after 47 balls for New Zealand. Releasing a bit of pressure, just got too short and predictable, de Klerk. Sophie Devine will not miss out on that type of delivery.
You can't afford to be short here. It sits up nicely for the batters, and she got onto it quickly, did Devine. Boundary of the innings. Now she finds the gap on the offside. It's a wonderful outfield here. Back-to-back boundaries for the New Zealand captain.
The timing is everything. And dispatched a short delivery previously, and this one on the offside. Again, a cutter, but driven through the gap on the offside. Very minimal.
With an offer again, this time straight to the fielder. Yeah, she knows she's missed out there. It's Sophie Devine. She's off to go on this over. 9 from it.
Yeah.
Feel the pressure, you can feel the tension. Both these teams yet to register points in this competition so far.
Yeah, the length that time around, perfect for de Klerk. You're just pulling back. And that length again a cutter. Play on a miss from Devine. Very rare.
Ten from the over, 17 gone, 63 for 2.
Here's a thought. Wouldn't it be amazing if your phone could tell you how to master the game?
Gemini, how can we improve my daughter's stance?
First, the bat should be held up and behind, ready to swing, and her feet should be shoulder width apart.
Now that's hitting it out of the park.
More about 29. It's Marizanne Cup to continue.
Kapi into her sixth, and again that challenge between those two players. They know each other quite well. Marizanne Cap, Sophie Devine. So think about the experience from both players. 155 matches, 300 matches.
Really is a landmark game, isn't it, Stacey Ann King? 350 international games for Susie Bates, 300 for Sophie Devine, 155 for Marizanne Cap. This trio really leading the way for the growth of women's cricket globally.
And the impact that they've played in the development of some of the younger players coming through the ranks. You hear like a Georgia Plymouth herself talk about Sophie Devine.
Whipped onto the leg side, and that will go for 4. So Devine seeing the ball really nicely here in Indoor.
And again, just being patient, Sophie Divine. A ball rolled just straighter into her legs, and it's really just whipped it off into the gap. The patience from her, she understands the conditions here. It's now forced a change in the field as well. So that short square has now gone deep.
Transferring the pressure onto South Africa is Sophie Divine. Back-to-back boundaries from the Kiwi captain. Marizanne Kapp is not happy.
8 runs from the last 2 deliveries, courtesy the bat of Sophie Divine. But how glorious is this drive? Timing is everything, off the meat of the bat as well. Down the ground with power and placement. And forces another change in field for South Africa. It's a sweeper now.
Surprise delivery from Marizanne Kapp. She just swats it onto the leg side as Divine. It's a good contest, this.
Yeah, all smiles, Sophie Divine, because she did well, actually. And she thought that she'd try to get out the way. And milestones for today: Susie Bates, 350th international appearance. Marizanne Kapp, 155. And it's all on Divine at this point. 300. 18 overs gone, 72 for 2.
A phone with a great camera, or one with a great camera that can also coach you to take better pictures.
One sec. Trying something new.
With Camera Coach on Pixel 10, let your phone's AI guide you to take that iconic shot. Nice.
Sophie Divine speaking at the toss, talking about it being a good surface. We're talking about a spin, Mlaba being held back till the 19th over. This will be an interesting contest.
Yeah, that's a 4 for 33, 38 wickets to her name.
Important to rotate, strike, and really just keep the energy of this partnership going. And that's what Divine and Plummer will be talking about. Yes, the boundaries are important, and it's good to have that transfer of pressure, but being able to rotate, strike, and just put pressure back on the bowler. Don't allow her to just bowl to you, Mlaba.
Yeah, and after that first single of the first delivery, the first ball of the over, Susie Bates, Sophie Divine walked down to speak to Plummer, just to possibly say to her, have a look a bit longer. Now she gets this one quite fine, and it will run away for a boundary. Second, the third for Georgia Plummer. Yeah, just straying Mlaba. Gets a very fine edge in Georgia Plummer.
The boundaries have been coming for New Zealand since the Divine stepped to the crease. This partnership now 34 from 36. And South Africa dominating those first 10 overs. It was 38 for 1. Marizanne Kapp striking with the first ball of the match, trapping Susie Bates in front. And South Africa will be mindful of the danger that Divine and Plummer pose. And 1 ball to go in the 19th, 6 from the over so far. $78 for 2.
Here's a thought. Wouldn't it be amazing if your phone could tell you how to master the game?
Gemini, how can we improve my daughter's stance?
First, the bat should be held up and behind, ready to swing, and her feet should be shoulder width apart.
Now that's hitting it out of the park.
At the Holker Stadium, good atmosphere. Fans have turned up to watch some great cricket, and New Zealand captain. She started well. A runnable 20 so far.
And 4 boundaries so far for Sophie Devine, and all from the crease. She hasn't came down the track, or she hasn't had the opportunity. And she's been patient. And she's been excellent.
Ayabonga Kaka now. Another wide. A fair number of wides from South Africa already, 15 wides.
And it's a tough angle as well, because the wicketkeeper is standing up. And she's trying to bowl to the stump, so she's trying to attack the stumps. That's what I'd like to see her do a bit more. Just bowl a bit more on the off, on that 4th, 5th stump line. Force them to play through the off. Offside boundaries are much bigger compared to those of the leg side.
Susie Bates was talking about the importance of New Zealand not having to travel after their last game. They've had a few days off. They've also been able to train at ease. South Africa, heavy loss against England, emotionally needing to regroup and also be able to get switched on for this crucial encounter. They head off to Visakhapatnam, where they'll take on the hosts India in a few days.
And that's a challenge, or can be the challenge in tournaments like these, where you've got to move on their various venues. So you've got to adjust quite quickly. You've got to find ways to get your game up, get yourself up, especially in South Africa's case. Lost your first match. How do you come back from it? And just how do you keep everyone around you up and about? I think the coaching staff has done pretty well. I had a conversation with Chloe Tryon at the start, and they're all in good spirits.
It was really good to see. I was watching the body language there. You can see Claire Tablanche, former international. She's now assistant coach of the Proteas women. And it was important that they were able to have that short memory that Laura Wolfhard spoke about, because up against a team like New Zealand, have their bases covered, they're hungry for victory, and really experienced unit. The gap for just a single. 52 deliveries for Georgia Plummer, for her 22.
Yeah, you look at the pace of the last delivery from Ayabonga Kaka, 71 kilometers per hour, compared to her highest, which was the previous delivery, 108 kilometers per hour. So changing of pace on the surface.
Easy single to end the 20th over, 83 for 2.